I made $31,873 this week trading, and in this video, I'm going to break down the exact strategy that I used so that you can implement it in your own trading. This strategy is not based on nonsense like support and resistance or indicators that lag. This strategy is based on liquidity, meaning buy orders and sell orders, what actually moves the market. So when you understand this strategy, you'll understand how the market actually moves. This strategy was not given to me by some YouTube guru. This strategy was given to me by my godfather, who was a leading trader at Goldman Sachs, and he gave this strategy to me when I was at one of my lowest points in life, and I'm going to be giving it to you right now. First thing that you need to understand is levels, right? So what areas on the chart do you consider important? If you guys don't have good levels, then every other part of your strategy does not matter. So you can see, for example, this morning, I had a few key levels in place. The first key level that I had was the New York Open, and I actually took a trade based off of this level being disrespected. So when I saw that price was bouncing off of this low, I saw that we were starting to form an uptrend after this pullback got scraped up by buyers. So buyers literally bought up all of this asset right here. You can see the price moves down. Buyers came in. I saw that we were coming above the New York Open. This is a very important zone. So I took a trade betting that we were going to continue moving to the upside and got out of that trade, made $9,600 today just from understanding key levels and the reaction that price has around these key levels. So many of you fail because you don't know what levels on your chart are actually important, right? So you might have 100 levels of support and resistance, but how are you actually going to know which one of these levels is important and which one of these levels you should be taking a trade off of, and which one of these levels is likely not going to get respected and is not important? That's why liquidity is so important, because with liquidity, we know that when price reaches one of our levels of liquidity, it is going to have a big move either to the upside or to the downside. So when we're taking trades specifically and exclusively on these levels, not on any other levels, we are going to catch much better trades, much higher risk to reward, and we're just going to have a higher win rate altogether. So to give a little recap on today's trade, I took longs off of a pullback of this uptrend. So what I saw was that price had a nice move up. I didn't enter there. I didn't even enter off of this pullback. I waited for price to confirm that it was actually in an uptrend and that buyers were stepping in. Once I saw that buyers were stepping in and buyers were a lot stronger than sellers, I entered right here, right near the top of the New York Open, expecting price to come sweep this high. I placed my take profit at this high. I had my stop right below this zone, and the trade played out quite nicely for a risk reward of 1 to 3, making me $9,600. Yesterday, I took a pretty similar setup. So I also took longs off of an uptrend. I identified that we were in an uptrend right about here. I saw that we were getting a lot of pullbacks, and these pullbacks were getting eaten up. So what I did was I waited for us to get a pretty significant pullback. Right here, we had a nice pullback of about 6 points, entered right there. I had a really tight stop loss on that trade, didn't get stopped out, and right here was pretty close to where the London high was. So once I saw us breaking above this London high, I was pretty confident that we were going to move up and get that 10 points that I was looking for. Got those 10 points, and on yesterday's trade, I made about $6,000. I did not take any trades on Wednesday. We had a big news day on Wednesday, so I decided not to take any trades, which was actually a really good decision considering I made $31,000 this week. But on Tuesday, I took this break and retest setup to the upside. Simple break and retest. Price broke above. We got the retest, caught 10 points there, didn't get greedy, made $5,000 on that trade. So that trade was a little bit smaller. And on Monday was my biggest day this week. On Monday, I made $10,800. You guys can see my P&L right there. And the trades that I took were 2 trades. So the first trade that I took was a bounce off of London low. This was a beautiful trade, literally 0 drawdown. So all I was doing was waiting for price to come to this low. When it did, I entered longs, had a very tight stop loss. With these kind of trades, I have a very clear picture of where my stop's going to be before I enter the trade. So I say to myself, okay, I'm going to enter right here. There's a little bit of risk, but if I get stopped out, I'm only going to lose a little bit of money. And I ended up not getting stopped out and getting a really nice trade. And on that first trade, I made $4,250. And I actually took 2 trades. The second trade being a break and retest to the downside, which played out quite nicely. I was a little bit close to getting stopped out right there, but didn't get stopped out. I knew that price was going to probably sweep this high, so I placed my stop slightly above this high, which ended up being a great decision. And on that second trade, I made about $7,000, bringing my total profit for Monday to $10,800, so almost 11 grand. And then in total, I made $31,000 this week. Some weeks I'll only take 1 or 2 trades, and that's why I'm able to have big weeks like this, guys. And more importantly, that's why I'm able to keep the money that I make. So for example, if next week I don't love what I'm seeing, it does not matter at all because I made $31,000 this week, guys. $31,000 is a lot of money. For me personally, I keep the money in my trading account, and then when I withdraw it, I take it right to my investment account, and then I use the money that I make off of my investments to pay for my living. So trading for me just helps me live better, but it's not like I'm taking, $10,000 and then immediately going to pay my rent. Like obviously everything is good for me financially. So what I do is I just continue earning money. And when I do withdraw, I put it into an investment account. You guys need to understand, trading is not like a job. With trading, you get paid by the quality of your decisions. So I made really good decisions this week, made a ton of money. Last week, I made really good decisions, but I only took one trade. Last week, I took one trade and I made $12,000. This week, I took 4 trades and I made 5 trades actually, and I made $31,000. That is only possible if I have the discipline to sit on my hands when I actually need to sit on my hands and to take trades when I see my setups playing out. If you guys have been watching the news, you've seen that we've had some pretty serious international conflicts that have been brewing this week. And if you look at the chart, you can see that we had this big sell-off, which was due to that conflict. And as a trader, this should not scare you. This should just let you know that there's opportunity in both ways. So you always want to be watching the news, but you never want to make decisions based on what you see on the news. You want to make decisions based on what you see on the charts, because the charts will actually tell you the truth versus the people on the news. Their only goal is to get you to click on stuff. So they will tell you lies, but the charts will always tell you the actual secret to what's going on. Y'all got to move to Florida, and people in the comments of this video are going to say, Florida's full. Okay, Miami might be full, right? Miami might be full. I'll give you that. But we have so many beautiful towns, and there's honestly not that many people. So if you're a young cat getting to this dough, you know, come join us out here in Florida. We got a lot of old people. Like when I'm in my spots, most of the people around me are old people. So we could use some more young hustlers. So if you're a young hustler, you're making some bread, come to Florida, man. I made $31,000 trading this week, and I only worked for about 4 hours. So you have worked more today than I've worked this entire week. So what that means is that you should probably ask yourself, what are you doing wrong? And what you are doing wrong is you are getting paid by your time. You're getting paid $20, $30 an hour. You're getting paid a salary, while I am getting paid by my decisions. So I've literally been, fishing this week. I've been buying kayaks. I went on my jet ski. I've been doing all kinds of things, and I've been earning a shit ton of money because I understand what actually earns money. What actually earns you money is your decisions and leverage, not your time. The thing that I love most about trading, and none of you fucking freelance brand scalers or ecom people can say this, there is nobody that decides if I make money or not other than myself. So if I fuck up, I lose money, right? So I just have to worry about myself. I don't have to worry about my boss. I don't have to worry about my supplier from China who's probably ripping me off. I don't have to do any of that stuff. I worry about myself and my own decisions. So yes, there is a little bit of accountability there, but I would rather trust myself than trust somebody else. Trading is a game of self-mastery. I was talking to somebody who joined one of my coaching programs the other day, and he told me that he has become a really, really good person since he started making money from trading. He said that he's mastered his emotions. He said that life is better with his wife, life is better with his kids, life is better with his friends, because trading forces you to take control of your emotions, guys. If you don't have control of your emotions, you're not going to make money trading. And if you do have control of your emotions, you're going to make money trading. But what that also means is that you're probably going to be a better man, better woman all around. I find it so funny when people say trading's risky. Like, bro, you're telling me that your job at Bank of America as an account manager is not risky? Like what? You're going to get replaced by AI. That is something that I can almost guarantee. Versus with trading, if you actually risk your own money and you actually take it seriously, you have a big potential to see success. Versus if you're doing a job that's going to be replaced by AI, you have zero potential for success in the next 2 to 3 years. Like right now it might seem fine, but eventually they're going to replace you. Trading is a game of betting on yourself. And a lot of you guys are scared of your own ability, right? And I say that in the most respectful way. You think that you're not smart. You think that you don't work hard, but in reality, you're just scared to do something different than everybody around you. And when you realize that, you actually should be really happy, because what that means is that you can make that change. Once you have that mental shift, you can actually start to change your life. I don't make these videos to flex. I make these videos to show you guys what is possible, because when I was coming up, when I was starting out and I saw a video of some guy crushing it with the Lambo, or some guy, living on his own terms, that motivated me. So I want to provide that same experience to you all. And if you guys do want to start seeing some success in my experience, and what everybody that I've known who's seen success has done, is work with people who are winning, right? So if you guys want to work with me and my team who are winning every single day, day in, day out, obviously we take losses sometimes, but we're very good traders. If you want to work with us, click the link in the bio and I'll see you there.